Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast of No Code Work. I am Jyoti, and today's guest is someone whose journey truly reflects what No Code Revolution is all about. We have with us Dilip Sethi, founder of Trynovode, an agency with 300K revenue, who went from being a BCom graduate with no technical background, no technical degree, building a successful business in the tech industry with pure learning, experimentation, and belief in what no code can actually unlock. From discovering no code as a beginner to running a profitable agency, leading projects, dealing with global clients, he has proven that you don't need to be a developer to build real tech. His story is powerful, inspiring for anyone who feel non-tech and not enough qualified. Dilip, welcome to the podcast. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, Jyoti. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Dilip, for our viewers who are, watching you the first time, can you give a little bit introduction about yourself?
Okay, so myself, Dilip, I've been a BCom graduate, and it's almost entire my life I've been into banking, risk, and credit side. I always very fascinated with the tech world during my working with the payment industry uh, way back in 2008 till 2013 when the payment industry was evolving in India. I was heavily involved on assessing how the dot-com business works, how e-commerce was playing out in Indian market, be it OTA, online travel agencies, or marketplaces, or even the mobile recharge companies and all. So that kind of an gave me a lot of interest to learn the business model of these industries, also how they have been built, the tech stack of that. Coming from a non-tech background, it was hard for me to understand certain, jargons or, how the entire dot-com come into the play. So, and that led me to keep finding various tech tool, and I started my hands on WordPress, started building small websites using certain plugins, predefined themes. I worked on a couple of sites, kind of an mobile recharge panel to a coupon website to an e-commerce site. And that's where my entire interest on development side came into the picture. Around 2018, I came across a no-code boot camp that changed my life.
So
It
were you
was a first.
searching for, sorry, were you searching for, to build something? Were you always interested in, I have to, you had that zeal that, I want to create something on my own, or is it something that, just came by?
So you can say I'm always being very lazy when it comes to work, and I always look for an automation tool during my work. I started looking for how do I automate my work. So I started with Excel macro automation, moved into MS Access VBA, built some small program using VBA. So my interest was there, but it was always, I always faced as a challenge to build a end-to-end solution. I always trying something here and there, but yes, always had an interest in that. And that's where it just happened that I saw an ad about this boot camp. I decided to pursue, and that really helped me to be where I am today.
So how long was that boot camp and how did you manage it? Were you working side by side?
So bootcamp was very short. It was 1.5 month, I would say 6 to 8 weeks. That too, only one session for 4 to 5 hours, and then there was a catch-up session for 2 hours. It was primarily as a boot. See the word like it was more hands-on exposure. We had to come up with our own idea. Uh, during that bootcamp, it was more working on your ideas and build a small prototype by end of the bootcamp. So since, as I said, that I have been trying many things, so I had a small idea to automate on my work site, and I just use that as a base or a prototype to build. And by the end of the boot camp, it turned out to be a top second product, which is for MVP, or a small prototype which was built. So that really helped me.
Okay, and can you share something which you built, the first thing you built for a client and how did it turn out?
Uh, had a lot of bad experiences. See, I come from a more logical or analytical background. For me, design is always a challenge. I was able to find the solution and build that solution. So we had our first client from New Zealand, who was a mortgage broker company, and then they wanted some small solution where they can gather information from their customer and do a bit of pre-vetting or the analytical work before it reaches to the agent. We decided to work on that solution, and after 2 weeks of our first demo day, when we presented the solution, he kind of like it. But after a week, when we had a second demo session, and that's where his team was available, and team turned down the entire platform by saying the look and feel is totally bad. This is not what they can offer or they can present to their client. And I think within the 30 minutes of the call, the entire 3 weeks of effort gone for a toss. That day, we realized we have to have a design person within the team, and even our own website did not exist that time. We hired a first design UI UX designer, and from there onward, we started progressing and following the approach of design, development, and testing.
Must be really hard, working, learning something, and then you put your 3 weeks into it, and then client rejected it. Um, from that time till today, do you think that no code has scaled a lot, and now anything can be built on no code? Do you think that shift has come?
Yes, very much. In fact, what we build as our first product or the piloted with what today, if I look back and I feel if in today's time we have to rebuild what we did 5 years back, even the design idea, we don't need to have designer to come and play, because all these no code tool or other no code tool, or even the design repositories which are there on the Figma and all, can give you and direction or a baseline product which where you can build the logic and a workflow. So it has evolved to the level where you can gauge the speed and also the design aspect, which was not there at that time.
But you talked about how you started learning it in terms of you wanted to automate what you currently was doing, but then you ended up, building this whooping $300,000 revenue business, and generating, this much amount, which is crazy. So how did it turn it from just learning into, how did you, thought that, I should start an agency or build a business?
Interestingly, as I said, that my intent was to launch my own product. Obviously, that did not go because of many other challenges, kind of a thing. But that gives us a direction and a confidence that if we can do it for ourselves, we can do it for others. And our approach from a beginning was to help the solopreneurs or founders who are piloting the ideas with minimum budget, and most of the startups that we worked, they were side hustler. They were working in their core industries, and either the group of colleagues or friends came together and they wanted to pilot. They didn't have thousands of dollars to burn. At the same time, they wanted to go minimal approach, and we kind of and put that confidence in them. We would able to help them going out in the market, testing the product at a minimal pricing, and we are always being very open and cooperative in our approach. There are still the client that we are currently working is with us almost for the last 4 years plus. So that shows our commitment, and also the eagerness and willingness to help the startup or solopreneur, because I myself has gone through that journey. Obviously, before venturing into no code, I tried my hands in many other things, and it turned out to be you always have an idea which you think is can be a next unicorn, but by the time you build that product, you realize there are thousands of more better product which is available in the market. And building a product is a one aspect. Second aspect is the marketing and acquiring the customer. This is where the most challenge come in. So obviously, either you get through it or you drop the idea. If you drop the idea and if you have burned a lot of money, then you would not try a second idea. So this is where we believe a no code helps us startup or anybody who have idea to test without leaving the job or testing the water. They can go ahead with that.
Okay, quickly, three things why someone should choose no code.
As I mentioned, one, you can go out in the market, test the idea without burning too much of money. That's one aspect. Second, the agility and the flexibility which no code tool gives. To put the perspective, when you are launching your first product, it's you or your co-founder or your small team who think this is the best approach. But when you go out in the market, you start acquiring the customer, you feel, no, we need to revamp, change the entire product, either the proposition or the onboarding journey or some features. If you are in a full stack or the main development, changing would take a lot of time, effort, and money. Whereas with the no code, the flexibility of iteration that comes with the speed and the less effort or money investment gives you an edge over your competition, and also you can test a different variant in a short span of time. So I feel these three aspects: one is the cost factor, second is the speed, and third is the flexibility, are the key three component or factor to go with the no code tools.
So anyone who wants to test an idea, I think they should go with no code tools better rather than spending so much money in coding. Dilip, you come from a business commerce background. Do you think that helped you in generating this kind of revenue in business?
I don't know whether what to answer this. Maybe if I would have come from a tech background, I would have scaled this much faster and better. However, our approach was a bit steady, and one thing which we can proudly say, yes, having a tech background would have given us an edge on the tech side, but coming from a business or a commerce background gives us the edge of understanding the concept and the business. In most of the product where we got involved, our experience of real life and understanding the problem and helping the founder, not just from a tech, also from the side of solution identification, has helped. I can quote one instance. We have been working with one fintech company. and they had a requirement of transiting from an Excel to a automated route. Since I had enough experience working on Excel macros, churning numbers, it really helped us in terms of moving that from Excel to other. And they have experience or they tried other agency where they are good in uh, product building or a tech stack, but having an understanding on the business side was lacking. So I feel it's kind of an win-win, or maybe in a longer run, since we have developed the tech as well and we have a business, so it will pay off over a period of time.
That's great. Why I'm asking this because there are people and there are youngsters who want to start something their own, but they don't come from this technical background and they don't have this fancy degree. So, do you think those people can go ahead, since you have done it, they can also do?
Why not? And I strongly believe the concept of no code, or and let's say in certain countries it's called as a citizen development. The concept of no code is to help known tech or the business people who understand the business logic and the concept. They can articulate same with the help of tech without writing a code, and maybe generate a prototype or provide a solution which can be validated and maybe handed over to the tech team to develop more on that. So I personally believe anybody who carries a bit of common sense and a business logic, irrespective of which background, stream, degree they come from, they can very well get into this and develop a solution for themselves or for the company.
That's great. So anyone who has started or is starting, can you share what your early years looked like when you started this agency? Was it easy? Was it very difficult? What are the challenges that you faced in starting?
Uh, so major, as I said, that there are two parts to it. One is the people who are approaching us, newly launched agencies, or a small size agency. They look for two things. One, flexibility in adopting the changes, and also the pricing. Because there are plenty of developer or agency in the market. Why would they choose you over and above someone else? First factor is pricing, and pricing does not mean compromising on quality. So you have to give a decent quality and a decent pricing. You have to build your portfolio. You have to build that trust from these clients. And also, the major factor is to uh, understand or have an empathy with the client. See, put yourself into a client's shoe. They're also learning as they progress with the journey of developing a product. They will reach out to their friends, their families, or for the initial pilot. And trust me, every second person will give 10 suggestions or changes. Uh, you as agency, if you say no to everything, it will be a major turn down for them. However, if you rationalize it, help them with those minor tweaking and changes, and also support in that journey, I think you will able to build a good reputation and good experience also, because dealing with tough clients gives you more learning than dealing with easy clients. So I would
That's true.
say take every bitter pill as a medicine, or as a tool for you to learn and work on that. We made mistakes. We had clients where we have to literally refund back the entire money we got after working 3 6 weeks, because there's no point arguing or going back and forth with the client where you see over a period of time the alignment is not there. It's better to lose one client and win 10 clients rather sticking or spoiling your reputation with one client.
Do you think there are still some misconceptions, on no code that maybe come
Well,
across to you from client's perspective or people's perspective?
yes, people do feel in two aspect. One, they feel it's easy why you are charging so much. Second, the scalability may be questionable or challenging, but I think over a period of time, it's as an agency, as an individual, it's your job also to explain. It may sound easy only from the perspective if you have to do an iteration or you have to speed up certain quick and dirty changes. Whereas if you really want a good scalable product, it do take time. However, it may not be to the level or a quantum of what a coding would require, whereas the speed and agility would be there. But yes, they learn or they understand this as they go along with you in the development process.
So, one thing you were saying that it's not that easy. Maybe the iterations, doing iteration is easy, but then people do oversell this part that no code is easy, and that's why everyone can learn no code. How do you see it?
Okay, you can learn it and you can build to an extent. So I'll give you my personal experience as well. So when I started building, I could build to the level where it's working prototype product. But if I ask, does it, if I have to bring any critical aspect or let's say, aspect which may require more a bit of coding, a third party integration, or the way data is structured, or the way the application is optimized, that's where you really need people with that level of skill, experience, and a background. And that's where the complexity come into picture. See, I can build something which is working perfectly, looking good, but is it an ideal way of development or is it the optimal way of development? That's the question. So that comes with the time, that comes with the experience. I'm not saying you can't build it, you can build it, but if you have to go on a scale, then definitely you need to bring that aspect of more experience and hands-on on that.
Okay, so Dilip, while we are talking on this topic, since AI has been introduced and this new technology is coming, vibe coding is coming, where do you see no code heading into the next 3 to 5 years?
Okay, so let's go back 5 years back. When no code came into the picture, everybody has a question or doubt that no code will replace the coding and all. But from my perspective and what I have seen, no code has given you the framework to build product. However, coding has, on top of no code, has made it scalable, more, in terms of are we able to integrate or able to scale on that. Likewise, the vibe coding would help you shorten the development process, which is there even in the no code. However, if you see, it will eliminate the entire journey of either a no code or a coding, no, because as I said, it can give you a base or a direction, but can it build an end-to-end product? Maybe no.
Okay, and then the tools we're talking about, what is the best tool that you think is currently in no code? And when you compare these tools with the tools that can create, give prompt and create something on that side, do you think that those tools will overpower the existing tools that are currently in the no code domain?
So even the current tool which are there in a no code space are evolving to be to the level where the vibe coder tools have entered into the market. Now the question is, you have something which you are able to use in both side, one as a no code and a vibe code. Is that stand out, or the tool which is just come off vibe code? So my personal view and opinion would be, again, vibe code tool may give you a quick launch of maybe a landing page or certain integration. But if the existing tool, let's say Bubble, now Bubble has a vibe coding option as well. The Bubble AI would help you generate the component, generate the landing page. So now what the beauty is, you have something which you can build from a scratch, or you can use their inbuilt vibe coding functionality and add top on that. So that will definitely stand out.
Okay. And as an agency, what kind of platforms you guys can build? What is your expertise? If someone wants to reach out to you, what can services you can provide to them?
So I can only say one thing: whatever exists in the market or whatever you can imagine, both can be built with the variety of tool options that we as an agency have adopted. Not one tool is right fit, but combination of multiple tools can definitely turn your idea or your imagination into a reality. And in terms of the industry, we have a very vast exposure. We have to, maybe build around more than 150 product in a different industry and domain. And anything, as I said, that you can think of can be built.
Okay, that's very optimistic and that's great. Dilip, since we are talking about business and we talked about your hoping revenue, what's the biggest mindset shift that helped you in crossing $300,000 revenue?
Uh, Coming from a finance background, and I always believe you have to set the realistic targets and numbers, and you have to strive to achieve it. There's always a benchmark that you have to establish, and you have to work collectively as a team to achieve it. And I've seen that is coming to a reality. That's one aspect. Second is, as I said, that uh, don't think or settle for a short term. The client who has approached you today may be a small client, or may be a kind of an initial uh, client for you. It may turn out to be a long term revenue generator client as well, and we have experienced that. Also, give that flexibility to client, where you are not too rigid in your approach. See, again, why someone is choosing you over other, or why someone is choosing coding over no code? For flexibility. And if you don't give that flexibility, the client has many other choices. So that's the biggest learning that we had, and we are very much firm and stick to that.
That's really insightful, Dilip. Now, this is my last question. One piece of advice that you would like to give someone who may be just starting their career in no code, who want to start an agency, but they're still sitting on it because they're skeptical, they should or they should not. Maybe that's not the future. So what's your thought on that, and what advice you would like to give them?
Uh, I would say try, fail, then again try, then again fail. You won't get success from your first client. Maybe your 10th client turn out to be your successful client, and you have to remain firm. Also, don't be a kind of an adamant to one no code tool. you have to be open, you have to move fast, you have to be very much kind of an up to date on what is happening, and prepare yourself, and even if you have a small team, prepare them to be ready for the future change. The reason is, uh, the technology is evolving very fast, and you will be thrown out if you are not pacing or not changing or adapting to that fast change. So that's one thing. And second, in my own experience, I have seen many agencies have come, they failed. Many agencies who have come and succeeded, they are far better than us, even they started a bit late. And I would say the reason is, those who failed, they have been very much uh, kind of an rigid on the kind of a project they will take or the pricing benchmark they have. The flexibility is not there. You have to be flexible. That's one aspect. Second, finding a right talent in this space is very hard. Reason, the mindset that people have, or a fresh graduate from engineering college, for them, they only want to work in the full stack or a coded environment. They feel their education is worthless if they get into this space. That's not right. As I said, that no code is a framework which gives you the base. You can very well use any code tool to build a product on top of it. So you don't like, you learn with the help of no code, and you can bring your coding skill on top of that, and that way it will give you more edge over your competition. So finding a right talent, and if the right talent has come, convincing them to stay firm in this domain. We have seen a lot of attrition in initial days where people have come since they join us because they didn't have any other option. But over the next 6 months, they realized that, oh, no code is something they don't want to venture into. They moved out. Fine. But there are other set of people who find it no code is a quick way to be a product developer. See, there is a difference between a developer and a product developer. A developer would only develop a component or a module of a product, whereas a
Yeah.
product developer can work on an end-to-end stream. And we have seen developer have learned and evolved as a product developer because they have because the no code has given them that flexibility and the speed to build the entire product. So that's the advantage, and that's what I would say. Be
Yeah.
open to learn new things, be flexible, and never let your client down.
Yeah, that's some great advice, Dilip. Anyone who wants to reach out to Dilip or Trynovode, they can go to trynovode.com and maybe email them at care@trynovode.com. Dilip, thank you for sharing not just your expertise, but the thinking behind it. To our audience, if you have been hesitating to launch your website, your product, or start something on your own, tool exists, guidance exists, and people like Dilip exist. So you can reach out to them. All you need is just the willingness and to take your first step. Thank you, Dilip. It was an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Thanks, Jyoti. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.